All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Talking Auburn football. Got another car cast. If you hear some wind in the background, that is actually me driving in the car. On the way to the house, wanted to talk a little bit about Auburn football. Having a real good time with this thing. Back into it again. Got my voice back. I don't know. I've been kind of off and on with the voice thing. Got it checked out. Everything is all good. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. So, just as we talked about yesterday briefly, as it turns out, the clamoring did clack together, and Derek Mason, former defensive coordinator, 1 year at Auburn, 1 season at Auburn, is now out taking on the job at Oklahoma State. I mean, just so you know, where there's smoke, there's definitely fire. I knew the writing was pretty much on the wall when this story started to surface. I kind of felt clamorings of it during the course of the season. There's even some folks that say that, you know, Derek Mason didn't have his hands too much on the defense towards the end of the year. You never know how that goes. But nonetheless, Derek Mason is no longer the Auburn Tigers defensive coordinator. And it leads to a lot of speculation as to whether Bryan Harsin is the guy for the job. Okay, so Mike Bobo leaves. I mean, well, he fires Mike Bobo. Mike Bobo wasn't getting the job done. Okay. I would go, and if I were to interview Bryan Harsin, and if he was all the way transparent with me, I think the straw that probably broke the proverbial camel's back for Bryan Harsin with Derek Mason would be the loss to Mississippi State. I think there had to be some serious conversation in that particular game, and, you know, I think it probably led to where we are now. That's just my speculation. I can't say for sure. I'm in nobody's office. I don't go into those types of conversations. But I'm also in corporate America, and I know that you just can't take losses like that and there not be a serious conversation. You also can't have a situation where you have a possible Alabama game win on the line. That's just assuming that he coached the Alabama game, which a few people say he might not have, but I have no real proof. I have no real solid sources that would dictate that. But, you know, there was a lot of interesting exchange on the coordinator front at Auburn, to say the least. Derek Mason is out. I'm going to do a video on who's actually in on tomorrow. This is all about Derek Mason, former head coach in the SEC at Vanderbilt. Got his claim to fame as a defensive coordinator at Stanford and also did a little time in the NFL. Ran a very elaborate defense that requires a lot of elite, diverse talent combined with cerebral cognizance as to how the game goes. And a lot of times, a guy right out of high school just doesn't think like that. And I think that's what probably led to some of his interesting parts of the season. Now, statistically, Auburn wasn't that bad on defense. They did what, as far as defensive statistics, they did what they needed to do to win pretty much every game they played defensively. Now, there may have been some situational stuff to where the defense could have made a stop or something here and there. But my thing is, if with the way offenses are being played now, I got a chance to watch a documentary on the ESPN where they were talking about how offenses in college football have evolved and how they spread folks out and things like that. And how, especially now, how fast players are now, how fast the game is now, how quickly teams are able to score and how often teams are able to score. If you're able to hold someone to, you know, between 20 and 24 points, I think that gives you more than a formidable opportunity to win football games, especially when, if I'm doing my math right while I'm driving in the car, the team that scored the highest number of points was Georgia at 34. No. It was actually Mississippi State at 43, but 43 Mississippi State, 34 for Georgia. So, I mean, the defense didn't do bad statistically. Guess it just didn't turn out to be a good fit. A lot of folks were like, well, Derek Mason and Brian Harsin didn't get along. I mean, these are professional guys. They probably didn't see eye to eye philosophy-wise, but I'm pretty sure from a professional standpoint, they have the emotional intelligence to get along. Come on, guys. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast talking Auburn football. If you like what you hear, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 48.8K subscribers. As always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. Also, check out All About Auburn. Check out my man E2C. Check out War Report. Check out Infinite Auburn. And War Eagle.